Hey, it's Kefa Koala, and this is the second episode of Fanart and Commentary. Today's subject is the show 12 Forever, a show that was originally supposed to air on Cartoon Network, where it piloted, but somehow ended up on Netflix, which is better for everyone because it's easier to binge watch. Okay, the basis of the show is that you have Reggie, a 12-year-old, not ready to grow up just as yet. And who really isn't 12, let's be honest. So she is transported to this place called Endless, where her toys come to life, and she has this friend Todd that she claims she was able to bring to Endless. We never really see when she originally brings him to Endless, but she states over and over again that he would not be there if not for her. Endless is kind of an escape for both of them, an escape for her from growing up, an escape from Todd from his responsibilities. And then they have another friend, Esther, who makes it to Endless without Reggie's help. And this is just the basis of the story, and then hijinks ensue. So basically with the show, the protagonist, oftentimes I don't really care for the protagonist as much as I do cling to side characters, but in Reggie's case, I have sort of a love-hate relationship with her. Reggie is really selfish, manipulative, and incredibly childish for a 12-year-old. But she's still a child, so her actions are understandable. Then you have Todd, who is very responsible for his age, and he's really overburdened at his age because his family situation is not the best, but he has an older brother, a dad, stepmom. Well, I'm not sure if it's a stepmom or his dad's girlfriend, but she shows up a few episodes. And then he has twin younger sisters he looks after. And then you have Esther, who's the third of the group, and she's awkward, eager, and very much a pushover throughout the show. But she needs to be protected. But she's a really nice character. She doesn't have a strong personality like Reggie or Todd, but she does add some depth to both their characters, because both characters sometimes end up having fault with her. The family structures in the show are very interesting in that they're very realistic, and a lot of shows don't have a picture perfect family, but when you really boil down to it, most of the families are well off enough, and the main character is just really having trouble navigating with him. But in Reggie's case, she's from a single parent family, and you can see that the family is kind of struggling, and her brother is very standoffish. And there's an episode where they dive into Reggie's insecurities because her dad left, and the fact that because she loves him so much, she doesn't understand why he would leave. And lots of children's shows usually have one character with family issues, but in 12 Forever, Todd also has family issues. Like I said before, he has a dad, worst dad out of Yale. Basically, Todd's family situation is that their mother left as well, but Todd's dad still dates, unlike Reggie's mom, who we see her trying to get back into the dating scene, but she's not really diving into it. But he seems like he's kind of irresponsible on his own, and Todd's brother was more of the head of the family. But when Todd's brother leaves for college, their dad doesn't really buckle down and accept his responsibility. He just, instead of having the brother take on his responsibilities, he basically just hands them straight down to Todd, adding to Todd's stress, even though Todd is 12 years old, where he has to be cooking and watching the Jennifers, his twin younger sisters, all by himself. So he's stressed with that, and then he's growing up as well. He wants to start dating, he wants to be in a band, and he's trying to navigate all of this at the same time. Because Reggie is so possessive, like I said, she's very selfish. Instead of trying to help Todd navigate, she's constantly trying to get in the way of him getting the things that he wants. Like, she doesn't understand why he needs a girlfriend, and she basically treats any new thing Todd wants to get into as a problem, which is not really all because she's being possessive of Todd. She also has a really big problem with change, as you can see in one of the first episodes where they meet Esther, and she doesn't want anything to do with Esther either. Esther's family life doesn't really seem all that neglectful, but she does seem like she has a lot to worry about in ways of her parents' expectations. So it isn't as broken as the other characters, but you still get the sense that her life isn't perfect either, even if she still has her parents. Now I want to talk about my favorite character in the show, Dr. Champion, who is, I'd say, a very two-dimensional character, but I love him nonetheless. He's like most of the characters from Endless, he's just this obscene character. But occasionally, Dr. Champion gets really serious, and you think he like has a point, but then he reverts back to this crazy, wild character by the end of the episode. And honestly, it's lovely. Like, there's an entire episode where Esther's basically trying to teach them, and Dr. Champion is acting like, okay, he already knows of this #1 student in the class, and then they end up finding out he actually isn't the best student. He doesn't even know how to read, and rather than learning like the other characters in Endless who don't know how to read, he picks up his foot and pretends like he's on a phone call and makes a hasty retreat, and I loved it. Loved the entire scene. Then you have the Butt Witch, who is also a favorite character of mine, but she's a villain. And I think only because she's a villain, she's a favorite character of mine, because she's not your average villain. And I'm saying she, but she has a very masculine voice, but she's obviously a she. And she has like this toxic relationship with Big Deal, who just admires her blindly, but it's lovable. And she just represents all of Reggie's insecurities, and she just feeds off the characters when they're incontent or when they are fighting with their emotions. My next notable character is Colin, who you're not gonna like, but his scenes are entertaining. Like how I said that I like Dr. Champion because his scenes are entertaining, Colin is a really standoffish character. I can't remember the other character's name, who is just plain weird, but Colin is weird, but not weird to the point where you just wish he wasn't in the show. So that's basically most of what I have to say for 12 Forever. It's only one season, pretty short. I hope they're doing another season, but apparently there's some problems with the studio, so fingers crossed. Oh, that's all. I'll see you guys in the next one. Now, if you want to check out some other videos from my channel, you can check out episode 1 of Fanart and Commentary, which was on Fairly Odd Parents, link in the description, and then you can check out some other videos by going directly to my channel. If you like what you see, hit that button to subscribe, and click that bell to get notified every time I post. It's been FaC Koala, signing out.